give it just like 30 seconds.
Oh, it's 5 o'clock on the computer.
One more minute. I'm going to gavel in our regular meeting of the board. Can we have roll call, please?
Trustee Chen Lao, Trustee Aragon,
Present.
Trustee Gibson,
Here.
Trustee Silver, Trustee Kwong, Trustee Liu,
Here.
Trustee Wong,
Here.
Student Trustee Wong.
Okay. Do we have any public comment on closed session agenda items? We do not. The board will recess to closed session. Item C1, Government Code 54956.9D2 and E3, Conference with Legal Counsel. C2, Government Code 54957.6, Conference with Labor Negotiators. We will return at 5:45.
Trustee Chinlao.
Here.
Trustee Aragon. Trustee Gibson.
Here.
Trustee Silver. Trustee Kwong. Trustee Liu.
Here.
Trustee Wong. Student Trustee Wong.
Here.
Thank you. For our land acknowledgement, I was going to hand that to Trustee Aragon.
He's on his way.
I will do the land acknowledgement today. Pasadena City College is a learning community within the indigenous homelands of people who have been known as the Gabrielino Band of Mission Indians of the Xixiquanga Village and Quiche Nation. Tonight, we acknowledge the painful history of genocide and forced removal from this land on which we gather. We also honor the legacy of the African diaspora and recognize that the United States, as we know it, was built at the often fatal expense of forcefully enslaved Black people. We are indebted to their labor and the labor of many Black and brown bodies that continue to work in the shadows for our collective benefit. PCC and its faculty, staff, and students recognize that we are all simultaneously teachers, learners, and guests on these lands. This acknowledgement is a small part of an ongoing process of working to raise awareness about histories that are too often erased or forgotten, to recognize our place in this history, and to affirm our commitment to social justice, systemic change, and anti-racism. Thank you. We're going to move to the Pledge of Allegiance. Trustee Gibson, can you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Let's begin.
Okay, we're moving to approval, reordering of agenda items. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Trustee Liu, seconded by Trustee Gibson. Any discussion? Student Trustee? All in favor?
Aye.
That passes. We have a few introductions and recognitions today. We're going to begin with Indigenous Peoples Day. Representatives of our PCC Indigenous Peoples Advocacy Committee. I'm going to invite them up to the podium. Ariana Flores, our core and faculty advocate, and Jordan Orozco at Enrollment Services. Please.
Hello, good evening, Board of Trustees and Dr. Gomez. Good to see you all. My name is Jordan Orozco, a resident of Area 5, hey, and PCC alum, and currently work in Enrollment Services under Dr. Miriam Altunji. I have been employed here part-time for 12 years, and in that span have worked for the PCC Flea Market, coordinated programs and events as the Cross-Cultural Center lead, helped advise associated students develop programs within the Office of Student Life, and was myself a leader as an associated student president, hi Alfredo, with my fellow Chief Justice, Ryan Liu. How's it going? I am joined here with my colleague and one of my partners in lawful chaos, Dr. Amy Tahani Bedmeshki. And we are here today representing the PCC Indigenous Peoples Advocacy Committee. We were created out of the need for representation for our Native and Indigenous students on campus who were not feeling seen in spaces on campus. We consist of 13 intertribal Native and Indigenous identified students and staff, faculty, and as well as community members, Native and Indigenous identified, whose vision is to promote, foster growth, and advocate for our local Indigenous students on campus first and foremost, while also maintaining identity and presence in spaces to create a space for those students to feel seen and heard. We also want to elevate our local tribes and those whose land this was originally a part of. Thank you for considering approving a resolution to recognize Indigenous Peoples Day on October 14th, as this is one step in acknowledging the painful history of our Indigenous communities and that our tribes have faced. In celebration of this day, we are co-hosting, along with the Division of Institutional Equity, Diversity, and Justice, an event titled Grounding in Harmony, Indigenous Peoples Day here in the Quad. This event is to educate our campus on why this day matters and why it is important for our campus to embrace Native and Indigenous students so they can be uplifted to their fullest potential. It will be an intertribal celebration which will include blessings by elders, ceremonial and sacred dance, drumming from an all-women's drum circle group, and I would like to extend an invite to the board. It will be from 11 to 1:30 in the quad, followed by a limited attendee event with an indigenous culinary anthropologist, Dr. Claudia Serrato, in here, Krevling Lounge. We are just starting the process of healing and reparations for our Native and Indigenous students, communities, and tribes, and we look forward to partnering with the board and campus to create spaces of opportunities and growth. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Sorry, Jordan, what date was that again? My apologies.
Monday, this coming Monday, October 14th.
Thank you, thank
Yep.
you, thank you. Okay, next for celebrating Filipino American History Month, we have Linda Lam, our Asian American Native Hawaiian Student Success Specialist, and Miguel Bernardo, our student and president of the Tropa Club. Welcome.
Good evening, Board of Trustees. My name is Linda Lam. I am the inaugural Asian American Native Hawaiian Pacific Islander Student Success Specialist in the Division of Institutional Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion. I'm excited that the board is voting on the resolution honoring Filipino American History Month. This resolution will help to foster community and bring awareness to contributions of Filipino communities at PCC and in our society. And I also look forward in my role to support and center the needs of Asian American, Native Hawaiian, Pacific Islander students through the Division of Institutional Equity, Diversity, and Justice, and also the Chancellor's AA and HPI Student Achievement Program grant. Now, I would like to introduce Miguel Bernardo, President of the Reunited Organization of Filipinx Americans, also known as TROPA, to speak.
Hi, everyone. My name is Miguel Bernardo, and I am the president of the Reunited Organization of Filipinx Americans, also known as TROPA. From what I've witnessed, what TROPA has given the PCC community is a pure representation of what it means to be Filipino American. When I moved here a year ago without friends or community, TROPA picked me up and provided me with a home away from home. Now, with a total of 266 members, we've created events such as our annual Filipino American History Month celebration, Pakaka Isa, as well as joining and competing in the 39th annual Friendship Games held at Cal State Fullerton in October. Through the celebration of our traditional dances, discussions about our culture, and the events that we have created, we truly believe that TROPA has become a hallmark of Filipino American culture here at PCC. We welcome the board to attend our meetings, which are regularly held on Tuesdays at 12 p.m. In the C Building, C333, as well as future events we may hold. The TROPA board and I are forever grateful for what TROPA has given our community, and we thank the PCC Board of Trustees for voting to honor October as Filipino American History Month. Thank you.
Thank you both. And I'm now going to hand it to VP Gibson for a quick intro and recognition.
Thank you. I'm very pleased to return from Ghana with several members of the PCC community. This group traveled with scholars, faculty members, staff, educators from all over California, mostly from community colleges. The All African Diaspora Educational Summit traveled to Ghana and Accra and Cape Coast to learn and grow and experience what we could do there. I would like to bring up Dr. Carrie Boland and other participants who went on the trip to come up to the podium and share some thoughts. Thank you so much. It was a incredible experience, a learning experience, and a deep emotional experience. So I hope, Carrie, please welcome back the people who participated.
Thank you, Trustee Gibson. And honestly, I couldn't have said it any better, but I am going to share a few more words. Good evening, trustees. As was shared on September 27th, more than 300 educators journeyed back to Ghana for the second biennial All African Diaspora Educational Summit. This 9-day global platform was more than a conference. It was a movement, honestly. It's sponsored by the University of Cape Coast and the African American Male Education Network and Development Organization, otherwise known as A2MEND. And this experience aimed to reshape and center education for the African diaspora as a vital tool for empowering Black sovereignty, self-determination, and liberation within educational systems. And because of your support and the coordination of IEDJ, we welcome back on Sunday, October 6th, safely, 13 students, staff, and faculty whose lives have been transformed and their roles as change agents forever enlightened. Of those 13, Dr. Keith Williams and Dr. Fanon Wilkins served in the role of site leads for the PCC Consortium and have been invited to share a brief reflection on their experiences.
Good evening. I am Dr. Keith Williams from the Division of English and Language Studies. First of all, I am deeply grateful to PCC for the opportunity to attend the summit, both in 2022 and again in 2024. One highlight for me was a naming day ceremony we attended in Kwabenya, one of 8 ceremonies held in villages around the capital region of Accra. Later that Sunday, hundreds of us came together to reflect on the ceremonies, which were deeply moving in and of themselves. When Ramses Edwards, one of our PCC students, spoke, he received a rousing ovation. Overall, throughout the conference, students from across the breadth of California community colleges spoke out as ADES Fellows. The spiritual and intellectual growth they experienced over the course of the summit was often breathtaking to witness. Being seen makes such a difference. The naming day ceremonies also gave us the opportunity to give back directly to Ghanaian schools. In Kwabenya, therefore, there is some PCC swag around that village now. In addition to a mountain of basic supplies donated by PCC and other colleges and organizations. The gratitude of the teachers, and especially the headmistress, will stay with me for a very long time. I know that we made a difference for the children of Kwabenya and seven other communities where naming ceremonies were performed. The PCC delegation, like many delegations, included a wide variety of stakeholders. I think the variety leads to a more holistic view of our institutions, and that feeds into a more holistic solutions for our students. On the last 2 days of the conference, about 30 groups, including PCC, shared the plans they had developed whilst in Ghana. In real time, the summit became an incubator and clearinghouse for innovation in the area of Black student success. It was deeply gratifying. Overall, the summit has reset the parameters of what is possible and made us rethink how to best serve students of African descent. The payoff over the next few years will be incalculable.
Thank you. It's a pleasure and honor to be here. Like Dr. Williams, I was deeply moved by our experience once again in Ghana. And I want to say that at the heart of my pedagogy, I'm always concerned about teaching to the whole student. That is, tapping into the mind, body, and spirit of my students. And this experience, particularly our visit to Asim an area that is known as the last bath, where Africans were taken and brought to, on their way to the coast, where they would be put in dungeons. It was there that they would be bathed, where they would be shea buttered down in an effort to present them in ways that they could be sellable and fetch the highest price. It was that particular experience that was so multi-sensory, right, that spoke to the kinds of issues and concerns that greet me regularly when I work with my students in terms of trying to attend to the whole person, that I was deeply moved. And that is, this is the day we arrived at Asim and it immediately began to rain. And it rained extensively. But the rain was not a moment, an opportunity to end this particular trip. It was actually an invitation. It was an invitation because it essentially was a cleansing. And this particular site, though it has been recognized as the last bath, has also become transmuted into the river of return. And this river of return offers us as diasporic people, African people from the diaspora, an opportunity to return to and visit a space that has often been associated with a very negative and difficult experience for people of African descent. So this was particularly important. I think all of us were moved, felt a sense of cleansing. It brought our group together. We were much closer. We just shared a lot in this experience. And I want to mention one other thing, finally, and that is that oftentimes when we think of Africa, we don't think about its relationship to the larger world, particularly to the indigenous world. And one of the things that jumped out at our experience at Elmina Castle this time was that we learned that Elmina was founded in 1482 by the Portuguese. It was also a space where Christopher Columbus cut his teeth and learned to navigate the Atlantic in this particular region. And it was here that we learned that Columbus would then take this experience, and of course this would carry over into the New World. So this was important because it connects Africa to the New World, and it connects to the opening statements that were given just a few minutes ago. And I want to just underscore that because oftentimes Africa gets presented in a very isolated way, but it's very much connected to the modern world. And so this was a takeaway this time, and I was deeply moved by the experience. Thank you.
Thank you.
We appreciate your support, Madase.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Our next item is a public comment on non-agenda items. Trustee Liu, do we have any public comments today?
Yes, we have one public comment. Public comment from Mary Wall.
Good evening, Board of Trustees. I'm Mary Wall. I'm a librarian and assistant professor of library technology here at PCC. First, my congratulations to PCC on our centennial celebration. 100 years of excellence is truly a milestone. As we celebrate this rich history, I'm excited to share a resource that showcases PCC's legacy, the PCC Digital Archive. The PCC Digital Archive is an online collection of scanned materials from the PCC archives housed in the Shatford Library. Since 2011, the archives has been actively digitizing its physical collections, and the digital archive now includes over 50,000 images and counting. The digital archive includes a range of scanned materials available online, including student publications like Inkscape, PCC's campus newspaper with issues dating all the way back to 1915 and with which we received generous support from the foundation through a community excellence grant. And there are photo collections capturing PCC moments in the arts, sports, and early years of pivotal programs like nursing and dental assisting. I had the pleasure of seeing some of you at the library booth during the centennial celebration a couple weekends ago. You may have noticed we had a sampling of PCC yearbooks with us at the booth that day. We had some visitors who actually found themselves or their family members in those pages. It was truly an amazing experience. For folks interested, the Digital Archive has PCC yearbooks available online dating back to 1929. And we even have yearbooks from Pasadena High School before it merged with Pasadena Junior College going back to 1899. For those of you who are really into the behind-the-scenes details of libraries and archives technology, the Digital Archive materials are OCR'd, meaning that the text is searchable. Each item has its own catalog record with details like titles, dates, and subjects captured, and everything is indexed for easy searching, browsing, sorting, and filtering. But beyond just the technology, the real value is in connecting with PCC's rich history, available online to everyone and anyone with an internet connection. I want to also take a moment to thank one of my PCC librarian colleagues, Linda Stewart, who serves as our archivist and who has been instrumental in leading digitization efforts. As a side note, the library offers CTE certificates in digitization skills in archives and digital collections. Many of our very own PCC students have scanned and cataloged an incredible amount of the PCC archives as part of internships. And so I want to give a public thanks to all those who've given an incredible amount of quiet labor to stewarding these collections over the years. So in closing, I invite you all to take a walk through some of PCC's history by visiting the PCC Digital Archive. You can find a link on the library homepage or directly at collegearchive.pasadena.edu. Thank you.
Thank you. And that concludes public comments.
I was going to say, I have been meaning to come by and see you all because I am so addicted to that site. I spend so much time. It is like one of my favorite things. It is so cool. So thank you for all of that work that you've put into it. You could be on it for, a year and still not get through everything. So thank you so much. And it's going to be such a wonderful resource, particularly this year. So thank you.
I can say I have forwarded links from that to Dr. Gomez in the middle of the night.
Yes.
50,000 images.
We
It'll
keep,
take
we
you a
keep
while.
sending things to each other, right? Keeps trying to up me.
Thank you. Okay, next we're going to move to approval of our last board meeting minutes. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by student trustee. Do we have a second?
Second.
Seconded by trustee Gibson. Any discussion? Okay, we'll go to a vote. Student trustee?
Yes.
Everybody else?
Aye.
That passes. Thank you. Do we have any board committees with reports? Trustee Liu?
The facility subcommittee met yesterday, and we just had a pretty brief meeting to go over a couple updates. Excitingly, there'll be a hard hat tour for the Seraphim building sometime this semester, so excited for people to see all the great progress there. And I'm sure this will come up in a future meeting, but the district will be partnering with Answer Advisory for Energy Master Planning, Sustainability Master Planning, among other sustainability kind of projects. So that was essentially it for our meeting.
Thank you. Okay, we'll move now to our consent calendar. Combined consent calendar items F1 through G14. Can I get a motion to approve items F1 through G14?
So moved.
Moved by trustee Aragon. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by student trustee. We'll go to a vote. Student trustee?
Aye.
Everybody else, all in favor?
Aye.
That passes. Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Chair, just one thing I want to say on these items in regards to the trips. Again, I've asked in the past that I think it's really important, first off, because that students are attending like the university trips and the other leadership and learning opportunities. But I would really like to, hopefully in the future, hear from some of those students and what they got from those experiences, because I think that's important for our constituents to know in our community. So that's what I would say on that. So I hope that can happen.
Sure.
Right.
Thank you, trustee
Thank you.
Aragon. Okay, we're next going to go to our personnel consent calendar. Personnel consent calendar items I2 to I4. Student trustee does not vote on this. Can we get a motion to approve?
Mr. Chair, just one, I think it's supposed to be H2 to H4.
Excuse
right?
me,
Yeah.
H. There is I was reading the wrong typo. H2 to H4. Thank you. Can we get a motion to approve H2 to H4?
So moved.
Moved by trustee Liu. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by trustee Gibson. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That passes. Thank you. Next, we're going to move to our action items. And now it's I. Item I1, resolution number 826, in support of Latine Heritage Month.
So moved.
Moved by trustee Aragon. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by trustee Gibson. Any discussion? I think I'm sure we're going to hear it a lot during our committee reports, but I think all the activities that we've been seeing on campus and in the community in support and celebration of Latino Heritage Month has been incredible. And I know a number of us were at the Latino Heritage Parade. So, I think this is a fitting resolution, obviously, for the board to pass. So thank you. We'll move to a vote. Student trustee?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
That passes. Okay. I2, resolution number 827, in support of Indigenous Peoples Day. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by trustee Aragon,
Second.
seconded by trustee Gibson. Any discussion? Okay, we'll move to a vote. Student trustee?
Aye.
Everyone else, all in favor?
Aye.
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 That passes. Thank you. Resolution number 828, in support of Filipino American History Month. Excuse me. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by trustee Gibson. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by trustee Chen Lao. Any discussion? Okay, we'll move to a vote. Student trustee?
Aye.
Everyone else? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, that passes. Thank you. Next is resolution number 831 in support of Measure PL. This is a resolution in support of the library bond measure here in the city of Pasadena. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by trustee Liu. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by trustee Gibson. Is there any discussion?
Yes, I'd like to.
Trustee
make a
Chan-Lao?
We just heard from our terrific librarian about the impact of libraries, and certainly Pasadena Central Library has been a historic but also important, not just landmark, but institution in the city and surrounding cities. And I'm really happy to see this on our agenda as an educational institution that we are supporting the Pasadena Central Library.
Excellent, and I couldn't agree more. I was glad to author the resolution and put it forward today because, you know, the work that the city does, especially when it comes to our central library and the library system, not just impacts Pasadena, but the region. And so I think this is a great show of support for that. And if there's any other discussion, then we'll move to a vote. Student trustee?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That passes, thank you. I-5, adoption of education protection account funding and expenditures. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by trustee Gibson. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by trustee Liu. Any discussion or questions? Okay, move to a vote. Student trustee?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That passes. And next is personnel. So student trustee won't vote on this. The approval of a memorandum of understanding between the Pasadena Area Community College District and the Pasadena City College Confidentials. Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by trustee Liu.
Second.
Seconded by trustee Gibson. Any discussion? Okay, move to a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, that passes. Next, I would like if we can just take the next two resolutions together, resolutions number 829 and 830. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by trustee Gibson,
I'll second.
seconded by trustee Aragon. Any discussion? Okay. This is technically personnel too, so we'll have the student trustee not vote on this. All in favor?
Aye.
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 That passes. Item I-9, approval of additions, modifications, and deletions to the credit and non-credit curriculum. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Moved by trustee Gibson. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Oh, just a question on
Go ahead.
this.
Yes.
Are there any additions, modifications, or deletions to the credit and non-credit curriculum that we need to be aware of? That's needs to be listed on here, or did I miss?
You mean like standout
Yes.
things? I don't know.
Okay, great. Thank you.
There's nothing like major.
There's no program deletions, right?
No.
Okay, all right, thanks. We learned from that one, so I wanted to make sure that
Yeah.
we asked the question. Thank you.
Okay, next, there is two that normally I would take up together because I have to abstain from one of them. I'm going to take it one at a time. Nomination of myself for ACCT committees. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by trustee Gibson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
Seconded by
I
trustee.
know, there was a pause. Were you
Oh,
worried?
you made me nervous.
I was like, I guess.
Seconded by trustee Liu. Any discussion?
Discussion, yeah, I have something to say. I'm just kidding, no.
This is, and just for information purposes, the college is required to submit a support letter
Yes.
in order for any of our trustees to serve on these committees, basically saying that the college will support it.
Okay.
That's great.
Okay,
Will there be several committees you serve on? One committee in particular?
we'll see what they take me. I have to apply, actually. This is only the college saying they support me, or you guys
Okay.
support me.
Okay.
And then I and trustee Silver will have to apply and see where their board
Okay.
places us. But there's been a push for more California representation on these on these committees. So
Okay, great.
Well, thank you
thank
for
again.
taking up the call for action on this.
well,
and
we'll see
representing-
how we'll see how it goes. I'm looking forward to it. Okay, for this one, we'll go to a vote. Student trustee,
Aye.
everyone else,
Aye.
Aye.
and one abstention. And then next we have the nomination of trustee Silver for ACCT committees. Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by trustee Aragon. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by trustee Gibson. And discussion-
Trustee Silver has been very active in the CCC in both California and nationally, right? So,
Sure has.
I mean, she should be commended for volunteering her time and her commitment to community colleges now on the national level.
Oh,
So,
absolutely. And trustee Silver has served on a few of the committees for ACCT. They just require you to submit a letter every year. So you will see
Okay.
this again next October.
Okay.
And then October after that. Okay, we'll move to a vote. Student trustee?
Aye.
Everyone is all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That passes unanimously. Thank you. Okay, we're at our informational items. We have a centennial update. Yeah, Jillian and Alex, take it away.
We're switching screens. Good evening, trustees. Nice to see you all here. Thank you for being here. I'm Alex Buckelhide, as you know, and with me is Jillian Beck, who is now officially the special assistant to the president here at PCC. Thanks for your action tonight.
Hey.
I know, yes. Let's give a hand for that. We're here to just give you an update on the college's centennial celebration activities, and we're glad to be here with you tonight. Tonight, we're just going to give a quick overview of the activities and ideas that you'll see taking place at the college during our centennial celebration year, which is right now from 2024 through 2025. We're going to talk about some exciting things we've already seen.
And beyond.
And beyond, as you can see. We're going to see some things we've already seen, specifically our kickoff events in June and September, and also work we've done to spread the word about the celebration through messaging, marketing, and branding. Then we'll talk a bit about how this celebration will take shape through our construction efforts and ways that we have involved members of our community in this work. We'll have time for questions at the end, but I'm happy to take those anytime you like. And to start us off, I'm just going to share a brief video.
For us, a centennial is more than a milestone, more than a time to look back on bygone years. At Pasadena City College, our centennial is a launch pad, and our rich past fuels us forward. Created in 1924 to meet the needs of a growing San Gabriel Valley, PCC was never a bystander to history. At PCC, we make history and rewrite the future. Students have come here for generations to discover their passion and their purpose, to launch or advance fulfilling careers that transform their lives, to learn from stellar faculty and exceptional academic programs, to be mentored and guided by dedicated staff, to be part of an active student body where everyone belongs, every identity is valued, and lifelong friends are made. Today, PCC is a premier community college, ranked among the finest higher education institutions in the nation. And we're the best in California for helping students transfer. We are innovators and creators, achievers and leaders who embrace our responsibility to serve our community and to make our city and region stronger. PCC infuses more than $500 million into our regional economy and graduates 4,000 students every year. As we celebrate our first century, we launch boldly into the next 100 years, pushing the bar of excellence higher, certain that together we will reach new and greater heights. Join us as we write our next chapter. Pasadena City College, celebrating 100 years of excellence.
Gives you chills.
Thank you.
Great music.
That was created for the Professional Development Day. Our premiere at the Professional Development Day this fall as we kicked off the academic year, and it's playing a role throughout our centennial celebration already, and we'll continue on that. That was part of our kickoff work that we did. As you're probably aware, we began our public celebrations around the centennial last June at commencement, when we had the ceremony in the football field, drew to a close with a special drone show that took over the skies. And then throughout that weekend, we lit up Colorado Boulevard and our iconic buildings facing that street with some special lighting that our guests and community members were able to come by and take some pictures with in the nights there. These are very exciting, eye-catching experiences that really just helped our community get into the Centennial spirit. And that spirit continues this fall with 2 campus-wide events that have brought thousands of our Lancer community together. Students, faculty, and staff came to Robinson Stadium to take an aerial photo last month in September. And then we hosted a 100th community birthday party at the college. So I have a couple of samples from those events as well. Ooh. Yeah. Those who were able to join that day, that was just a really fun activity. It got over 1,000 people to the football field together around something, and that was just a great community experience, I think. And then next up, we've got some pictures and things from our community birthday party, including, as I'll gesture to my left here, the community birthday card, which if you haven't already had a chance, I hope you'll take a moment to sign. You can see it's covered in signatures from faculty, staff, students, community members who took a moment at that event to come by and just leave a memory or two on the card. So Jillian, to share some words about that.
So we were so happy to have so many people that were here, that are here today at our community birthday celebration on September 28th. It was a truly impressive event. It took a lot of work, and a lot of the people here made it happen. I think we were hoping it would be a great event, but I don't think we really expected to have as many people as we had on campus. It was really exciting. We think we had more than 2,000 people throughout the day, which is really incredible, and we were so happy to have everyone there. And some of those people that we were able to have included the mayor of Pasadena, our county supervisor, our state legislators, and our local congresswoman who were able to come speak and share in the celebration. We also had more than 20 other local government and school officials attend, and they joined us from across the district. And we also had many others who couldn't attend but were really interested and appreciative of being included. And so we are making sure that we're continuing to leverage those relationships and that interest throughout the year to make sure that they can be involved in the celebration, and that we can build on that in terms of our partnerships in the community throughout this year and beyond. And I think that a really important piece of this is the fact that so many people really made an incredible event happen. We had amazing cultural performances. We had our Lancer marching band. We had a piñata for kids. We had cupcakes. And of course, we had our headliner, Oza Motley, which also included some PCC alumni. So it was really special. And we're so happy to be able to kick off the year with that.
In a more virtual space, we've launched a Centennial website, which I'll visit briefly right now. This is just our hub for Centennial information as the year goes on. It's a living document, as they say. You can see we have current upcoming events that will be taking part of the Centennial calendar, including an event tomorrow afternoon. The Cruising PCC event is going to be a lot of fun. As we scroll down, we've got some history information here. This is a place where we're going to continue to put historical content that rises up over the course of the year. It was really amazing to hear about the archives tonight, so I really appreciate the public comment. I think there's a lot of, as we know, there's a lot of, this college has a lot of stories to tell, and we're going to be looking forward to putting them here on this site to be able to share there. There's a timeline here that kind of runs through some history and just some profiles of people that have made their mark at the college. So this is a place where we're going to keep this content alive. I'm going to go back to my slides. Okay, and so that kind of leads us into what we have coming up between now and, as Dr. Gomez said, and beyond. First of all, just to build on that concept, the idea of an oral history project is something that's got a lot of traction. We have so many people here who have stories about their time at the college, and we want to be able to share those. So we started this process before, and we had some people walking around at the community birthday party, collecting video interviews and doing some oral history work. We are just excited to build an enormous library of that, those recollections and those stories from people who have made their lives here at PCC. In November, we'll be honored by the Pasadena Museum of History, who is also celebrating their centennial this year. Again, just with history in the air, it's a great alignment for us to be able to be there celebrating together with them. We are pleased to talk about a sponsorship agreement and partnership with the Tournament of Roses that is taking shape this fall, which we'll have a little bit more in a second. And as the year goes on, we have a lot of different activities as well. We're planning to put a time capsule in the ground in front of the mirror pools where we have time capsules from before. We have a range of community activities that we're working on across the district. As facilities projects reach completion, we'll be celebrating those landmarks. Our history will take shape in physical space as the Seraphian Building and Sexton Auditorium and mirror pools receive their renovations and upgrades. We have talked about putting some immersive experiences similar to what we had in the commencement last year together, and we'll have a gala celebration in the commencement time as well. So that's coming down the way. The Tournament of Roses, though,
You
is
forgot
another
about the
exciting-
written history.
Oh, pardon me. And there will be an opportunity to tell our story in a written way. Thank you, Dr. Gomez.
So some of you hopefully have heard the news, but we're really excited to be extending our longstanding partnership with the Tournament of Roses by being the official sponsor of the Rose Court float in the Rose Parade. Something that came up in the conversations over the past year about the centennial was an interest in making our participation in the Rose Parade really, really special this year. We're always a centerpiece of the parade with our band and our Herald Trumpeters, but this year we're really excited to be able to be a part of the Rose Float, or the Rose Court float. So on the left here, on the slide, you can see the 1948 Rose Court, and that includes Eugene Galloway Templeton, who was a PCC student at the time. On the right is this year's Rose Court, which actually includes 2 current Lancer dual enrollment students, and from John Muir High School and La Cañada High School. So we have a long-standing relationship and presence in the Rose Court. It's a natural partnership, and we're excited to be continuing our work with the Tournament of Roses. We're in conversations with them about a larger centennial legacy partnership so that we can deepen our work together and our relationship this year and going forward as 2 major organizations in Pasadena that impact the community in a really positive way.
This is just a graphical timeline to put some shape to our plans. As you can see, in September, we did a lot of kicking off, and we're doing some branding awareness work right now. We're moving into a phase of sponsored events on campus, so that events calendar we have on the website will start to play a larger role. As we get into the holiday period, there are some existing events that will play. We will see the centennial start to appear at the foundation celebrations and other things like that. Once the new year comes around, more campus events, more cultural programming, and we will hopefully have some immersive experiences to announce at that time. And then as we get through till the spring and the fall, the spring and the summer, we'll see the construction projects coming to a close. We'll celebrate those, and we'll come back to the commencement and the gala. So that concludes the presentation. I'm happy to entertain any questions.
Trustees? Trustee Chanel?
May I just congratulate Dr. Gomez and the team on this spectacular array of not just events, but the deep meaning of the centennial. And I truly appreciate the vision that's been laid out and the activities that are supporting the vision. I also want to take this opportunity to thank the interim executive director, Frank Gardenitz, for his work with the foundation and partnering with you on this as well. And it's just a really wonderful, engaging moment in time for the community. So kudos to you and the entire team.
Thank you so much, Trustee.
So I want to second that. I just want to extend on behalf of my family that was able to attend that day. I had some former students that were also here that day, and it was really unsolicited on my part, but they really enjoyed themselves, and they said it was fantastic. So thank you for all your hard work, and I had a pretty good time too. And I noticed in the pictures I got cut out, but
We'll find a better one. I noticed that too. I was gonna.
That's fine. My cowboy hat was showing, so it's probably much more photogenic. Than
I think we have a gallery of additional photos.
That's fine. I'm just glad my cowboy
I'll make
hat
a
was
note of
showing.
that. Come on, guys.
Cowboy hat does well. But thank you so much. It was wonderful.
All right. Thank you. Looking forward to what's next. All right, we're going to next go to our Superintendent President's report, Dr. Gomez.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you, Alex and Jillian, for providing that incredible update about our centennial festivities. So you all know, there's a lot more going on, but we had to sort of keep it to 10 minutes, and we will have a lot of opportunities to participate in these events, particularly with regard to the Tournament of Roses and the Rose Float. So I think we'll get an opportunity to actually help decorate the float, and I think that'll be a wonderful experience for our community. I'm glad that so many folks were able to make our PCC 100 photo and our community birthday party last month. It's amazing. I was telling folks that there are very few places anywhere in the country, anywhere in the world, frankly, and I'm not exaggerating, where an entire family, which is what PCC is, would volunteer on a weekend. We ran out of blue t-shirts. We had so many volunteers that we didn't have enough t-shirts. Alex had to give me his t-shirt off his back. And I will say that I started to put it on, and I said, nah, maybe not. But anyway, I appreciate that you did that. Well, and that's really a symbolic of what I think the community is willing to do for the college. And I don't know that there's lots of places around where you would get that kind of teamwork. I mean, the library booth, but all of the booths. I mean, we had representatives from every possible department and section of the campus participating, and it was incredible. I mean, just to watch so many people. And what was also great was I got to meet, and we all got to meet, the families of some of our coworkers that we had never seen or met before. Mm-hmm. And that was incredible. And I could see in the faces of our staff and our colleagues just how excited they were. I mean, I met so many people's parents that were there, and so many of their kids and siblings and partners and spouses. It was really incredible. We also heard that there were people that drove all the way from Arizona just to make it to the event. They had heard about it and they really wanted to be there. And that just shows you the impact and the attraction and fondness that people have for PCC. So I can't wait to celebrate even more with the community and our friends all across the region. Last week, we also marked the grand opening of our Women's Business Center. PCC is the only community college selected by the federal government to be the host of one of only 17 centers in the entire country. 17 centers in the entire country, one community college, and that community college happens to be here. It happens to be Pasadena City College. And I want to thank Trustee Wong and Trustee Liu for joining us at the celebration, but also a very, very special congratulations to Vice President Salvatrice Cuomo, who oversees the center and created a wonderful program for us, as well as our Women's Business Center Director, Lindsay Okoro, and also their wonderful team. Also, and so many of these things have already been said, but it really is so important because over the weekend, the PCC community was also out in full force at the City of Pasadena's Latin Heritage Parade and Festival. Again, just like the community birthday celebration, it was incredible to see so many families and so many people from throughout the PCC community and the greater community there supporting Latin heritage. We also had several trustees that joined us there. We had Trustee Wong, Trustee Liu, and also Trustee Aragon. And of course, so many wonderful PCC staff, faculty, and students who were there taking part. But it was it was an incredible logistical undertaking to make this happen. At one point in the morning, I saw I guess, what do you call it? Is it a costume? The Lancelot mascot thing. Right?
The fit.
And everything's being moved around. We've got vans. I mean, it looked like, a big, huge, like setting up for a U2 concert or something. And I want to just mention that the person that was responsible for all of that is Angie Alvarez, our Director of Outreach and Guided Entry Service, who is truly an unsung hero. She was so organized, and I think we all can appreciate and recognize just how talented she is and how much effort and work she puts into these programs and projects. And just watching her be in our space, you just feel a lot more comfortable that that things are going to happen the way they need to happen. It was really remarkable. And Angie, she does so much work for our college day in and day out. And we just are really proud of her. So let's give her a big round of applause. Thank you so much, Angie. I hope you're watching, or that somebody will at least share this with you. And in addition, and Angie, by the way, is also a part of these efforts related to enrollment. She plays a critical role there as well. As we continue through the fall semester, I'm happy to report that our enrollment is already up about 6% from last year, and we expect that number to continue to increase as we finalize our enrollment totals. I'm really happy about that. But I have a really incredible announcement that I want to share with you all that some of you have heard, but not everyone. We recently learned that Pasadena City College will be recognized statewide for our efforts in climate action and sustainability. Each year, the California Community College's Board of Governors recognizes sustainability and energy efficiency efforts across the system as part of its annual Energy and Sustainability Awards. PCC was selected to receive the Innovative Project Award among large community college districts across the California Community College system. We are receiving this award in recognition of our achievement earlier this year in becoming the first AGSA certified green zone in the city of Pasadena. You may recall that means PCC has transitioned to using solely low noise, zero emission battery electric equipment for all of our landscaping and grounds operations. This certification from the American Green Zone Alliance was no easy feat, And this award from the California Community College's Board of Governors is a testament to the hard work, dedication, and leadership of many people at PCC who made this achievement possible. I want to again thank Richard Lorette, Carl Schaefer, Daryl Montgomery, our facilities and groundskeeping staff, students, faculty, and of course Vice President Candace Jones for their work. And I also want to thank our Board of Trustees who have been steadfast champions for sustainability. And Trustee Kwong, in particular, has been an enthusiastic driving force and advocate for Pasadena City College to earn the AGSA certification. So congratulations and thank you. Good work. Let's give all of us a big round of applause. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Gomez. That's very exciting news. We'll move on now to our announcements by shared governance representatives and the Board of Trustees. We'll begin with Associated Students. Mr. Martinez, please take it away. President Martinez, please take it away.
Thank you for that. Good evening. The board would like to report we're having a month of activities. Our Vice President of Campus Activities, Allegra, successfully hosted an outdoor movie night last week on Thursday with a great turnout of over 100 students attending. She will also host a week of activities during homecoming week. On October 24th from 12 to 1, we will have our annual fall pep rally highlighting different sports teams, the amazing marching band, and food, of course. Later that day, we're also going to have our homecoming dance with the theme of Starry Night. I just also want to highlight the homecoming game on October 26th as well. AS will facilitate a tailgate starting at 5 and have food trucks prior and during the game. And we'll end October with a dual event with our Vice President of Student Services, Layla, hosting the CDC trick-or-treating event and a Halloween carnival, both on October 31st. We're also going to host another movie night on October 17th downstairs in the Wi-Fi lounge at 4 p.m. And I also want to say that some of our AS members participated in the Latino Heritage Parade, and also wanted to thank Angie Alvarez and her outreach team for organizing PCC's participation in the parade. I'm also proud to announce that we have a full board now because we have appointed Brianna Asensio as Vice President of Student Equity. And as a full board, we'll be attending Seesaw, which is a student leadership conference this weekend. I also wanted to highlight that the Student Advisory Equipo in coalition with Black Council is hosting a student forum on October 29th from 12 to 1. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Management Association, Mr. Altamirano.
Yes, thank you. Good evening. Demi would actually, again, Alex kind of stole some of our thunder. Would like to welcome Jillian Beck again in her permanent role as a special visitor president. Again, we're happy you're staying. We'd like to thank Tamika Alexandra for the work her and her team have done, specifically with the numerous transfer workshop and ensuring that our students completed their tag agreements before the September 30th deadline. And while it's been noted, so this one will be very short, big thank you to the leads for our centennial celebration for the great birthday party. I know my family and I had a great time when we were here. The staff of the Freeman Career and Completion Center has done a great job under the leadership of Jacqueline Sakoto in partnering with staff across the campus of late. Specifically, again, on the September 25th, the Freeman Center and the collaboration with the non-credit division, again with Dr. Suarez and Nash Mejia, hosted their annual seasonal and part-time job fair. This event hosted a record-breaking 636 job seekers, and he had credit, non-credit student attendance, which is along with community members. On September 30th, in a collaboration with the STEM Success Centers, they hosted a STEM industry career panel where nearly 100 students were in attendance, and a special thanks, once again, to Angie Alvarez and her outreach team for providing the campus tour of the students from Fontana High School who visited for this event. And an event just yesterday, the SPDC with Don Lowe as well as Lizzie Okoro Davidson, in collaboration with IADJ, with again Dr. Kerry Bolden and Kuei Deng, hosted the Latin Entrepreneurial Career Panel, which featured 4 successful business owners going through our own process. Robert Tucker, Jackie Johnson, and Timmy Brown, again, our athletics folks, they did an amazing job. For those of you who were on campus earlier today, the PCC football team continued its partnership with the National Marrow Donor Program, NMDP, a leader in cell therapy, helping find cures and save lives for patients with blood cancers and disorders. The reason why I'm mentioning the specifics of this is that PCC is not just we're the only California Community College football team involved, but you'll be happy to know that PCC was the top school in Southern California area to recruit the most potential donors during the event last October. Yes, even more than the UCLA football team. Just had to throw that one in there. With Latin Day Heritage Month coming out to a close next week, I do want to personally thank the many managers, faculty, and staff who have come out to help lead the many wonderful events throughout the past few weeks. And yes, as Darko was mentioning, this past weekend, PCC was a title sponsor for the Pasadena Heritage Parade. First, thank you, Dr. Gomez and Candice, for making that happen. Again, we had over 100 attendees representing PCC. Again, that was an awesome day of marching there. And in closing, tomorrow, I invite the PCC community to join us for a full-day event led by Radica Rad Candelwa that will highlight the rich and deep history of Mexican-American Chicanx car culture by showcasing Lady Lowriders, a Pasadena-based women's-only car club, photography documenting Los Angeles Latinx cultures and lowriders, and a live demonstration by Johnny Wicked Lines Martinez, a world-famous pinstriping artist. Hope to see everyone there. That concludes my remarks.
Thank you. Very exciting. Academic Senate?
Good evening, everyone. Since our last meeting, the Academic Senate has passed AP 5010 on admissions and AP 4020 on program, curriculum, and course development. Second, we have established a new goal to create a subcommittee of Academic Senate to address generative artificial intelligence at PCC and craft a campus-wide policy regarding its use. We have heard from many faculty that this will provide much-needed guidance and support. The committee will be chaired by Christopher Pinto, an American Sign Language instructor in the English and Language Studies Division. The Academic Senate also passed a resolution in support of the creation of a Center for Teaching and Learning at PCC, which aligns with the college's broader goals outlined in the Student Equity Plan 2022 through 2025 and Strategic Plan 2023, aimed at ensuring an equity-minded learning community. This CTL work is being stewarded by a working group of faculty and district leaders. In addition, countless faculty attended PCC's 100th birthday celebration. I'd like to especially thank the divisions that set up in the quad by the C building to advertise their offerings. We received so much interest from students and the community in our programs and services. Finally, I marched alongside many other campus stakeholders in the Pasadena Latina Heritage Parade last Saturday. It was a wonderful opportunity to celebrate with our community and represent PCC, a proud HSI. Thank you. That concludes my report.
Thank you so much. We'll now go to our student trustee.
Yes, good evening. Since the last meeting, it's been wonderful seeing the PCC and the Pasadena community united over our various celebrations, such as the Centennial celebration on September 28th, which I would like to congratulate Dr. Gomez, the Centennial Working Group, as well as everyone who committed their time and effort for creating that grand event. Not to mention our celebration of the Latina community at the Latina Heritage Parade, which was a great privilege to attend. Along with some of the fellow trustees, our staff, our students, and not especially our student advisory group, Equipo. It was inspiring to witness the rich cultural tapestry and the great show of pride in Latina heritage. Overall, I'm very excited to continue the rest of our centennial year in recognition of the progress that PCC has made thus far and will continue to make going forward. Additionally, I would like to acknowledge that it is National Disability Awareness or Disability Employment Awareness Month, and in that recognize and appreciate our LARS staff and the work they do to support our students with disabilities, as well as students and people with disabilities for their contributions to the classroom and to the workforce. I hope that in this district and throughout every corner that our Pasadena community extends, we can continue to make spaces more and more inclusive. In Associated Students, the VP of Academic Affairs, Iris Lim, VP of Student Services, Leila Abgazia, and I, in collaboration with Dr. Mark Sakata of the LARS office, previously DSPS, have been working on an event hoping to spread a sense of experiential and informational awareness. The event is slated to occur on November 6th from 11 to 1 p.m. In the quad. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Liu?
Thank you. I will try and keep this brief because I know there's a game people are trying to watch. just congratulations all around. Also, congratulations, Jillian. I feel like I send you so many emails. We need a special assistant, a special assistant. But for the centennial, just wanted to thank everyone for their hard work. I know it was possible only through the work of all the people on this campus, so thank you very much. My only regret was we didn't have a big enough cake for Dr. Gomez to jump out of, but maybe for the 200th. I also want to commend.
Won't look as handsome in 100 years.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's a joke.
I also want to commend some of my fellow trustees. I was able to drop by events that both Trustee Chen Lao and Trustee Gibson had organized. Trustee Gibson, the water panel, which was very informative, and I learned a lot about water policies, and Trustee Chen Lao for the USC Arcadia Crystal Ball. And I think that really speaks to how great this board is in terms of their professional outside involvements, and I think that all goes to bringing the Pasadena and the greater Pasadena area to PCC and better connecting our institutions. Also wanted to say for the Women's Business Center, it was great being able to attend, and as someone who was only able to come to PCC because my parents had survived by having a small business and many times didn't know who to turn to, it's great that we have the team at SBDC, now the Women's Business Center, offering these services for free or low cost, and I think that makes a huge difference. For the Latino Heritage Festival, which I know our student trustee had attended as well. Just wanted to thank everyone again, and also thank President Altamirano for hyping up the crowd, among many of our great folks. I liked the little water cannon that people were spraying, so people weren't as overheating in the heat. And then lastly, I also got to drop by the El Monte Union High School District, had a board meeting honoring their Teachers of the Year. And it was multiple teachers being honored, but a lot of their students end up coming to PCC. So just wanted to give them a shout out and congratulate them for educating, wonderful students who end up coming to PCC as well. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Yeah, it was Dean Torres Rotana keeping us all cool with that little spray bottle. So thank goodness for that. We'll go to Trustee Aragon.
Oh, great. Okay.
It doesn't matter what order. I just wanted to change it up.
I'm glad you changed it up. Well, first off, I want to say to the Academic Senate, I'm glad you're developing something for artificial intelligence. There's a lot of great things that are going on in the state, and we want to make sure that we get ahead of it as an institution. There's not much to be feared. It's just I've been attending some workshops and trainings myself and how I implement it in my classes. So, right on. Thank you for doing that. So I also attended the water panel. So thank you again, Dr. Gibson. I'm going to try to go through these relatively quickly. The Dodgers are up 3-0 the last time I checked.
Thank you.
And I'm not going to watch the game because every time I watch something weird happens. So I'm just going to. So I will be attending the Altadena Town Hall next week. So I will be bringing them some updates. So I'll make sure that I work with Dr. Gomez to make sure that I'm on top of everything so I can share with him. I put that down twice. Let's see. I want to again thank the campus for all of the wonderful events that took place for HSI Week. I missed it the last time in my report, but I went off. I started with the kickoff that was done here in this room, and then I got to hear the talk by Dr. Garcia, so that was wonderful. I also attended the Latine History Parade. I'm glad I had the opportunity to ride in the low rider with Dr. Gomez. That was a great experience bouncing around down Los Robles Avenue. And I want to thank all those involved with putting that together. I know we've said it before, but I know it takes a lot of work. So all those involved, thank you so much for your hard work. And the last thing I'll say is I want to give a special shout out to Ernesto and Tito for putting together a great team that GCC and PCC played. They're both awesome teams. That's all I'm going to say for now.
Who won? Who won?
It was great to be an umpire.
Do not ask.
Yeah, GCC came out victorious, but it was really close on some calls. But both great teams, and I think it's going to happen again in the spring, right? All right, so thank you very much for what you did. That was a fun night.
I was in the middle of a hype session giving the team an important pep talk, and the umpire cut me off.
Okay.
So, you know, I don't know.
Trustee Chen
Took a
Lam.
little too long for me, so
There
I
is
get it.
no coincidence that the men on this dais are wearing blue ties and the blue jackets, so I think
God.
we all know who you're all rooting for tonight, so thank you. And again, I like to just reiterate the campus coming together for the centennial. It's just so heartwarming to see the community and the staff and faculty and the board being together in this moment, celebrating and reflecting on the 100 years of excellence. And again, congratulations to Dr. Gomez, your team, Jillian, Alex, and others for being able to execute and implement this vision. And certainly also want to acknowledge Board Chair Alton Wang for your leadership. I think being a board chair in a centennial year has its own pressures and expectations, and it's so wonderful to see you meeting the moment. Thank you.
It's all the team. It's all the team. VP Gibson.
Yeah, I'm happy to report that on September 21st, we had a discussion on water policy, water delivery, and efforts on more sustainable water futures. Water Education for Latino Leaders worked with PCC to have the discussion here. We brought a panel of experts on water who talked about the future of water resources and management in the region and long-term sustainability and conservation efforts. I was very pleased that we had Assembly Member Chris Holden speak and Senator Maria Elena Durazo speak. We had elected representatives from cities of El Monte, Claremont, Compton, Pasadena, Pico Rivera, Duarte. We had trustees and staff from Foothills Municipal Water District, Pasadena Water and Power, Upper San Gabriel Valley Municipal Water District. So I really want to thank the PCC administration and staff. Thank you to Dr. Gomez for welcoming all the visitors to campus. Thank you to President Wong for facilitating the panel on sustainability, and thanks for all the board members who attended and the student trustee, and thanks to Professor Emily Fernandez who helped organize the event. So I think it was a very meaningful event, and I appreciate all the support that we received for that. I'll say a few more words about the trip to Ghana. In case people don't know, the present-day area of Ghana was one of the most significant areas for the slave trade, bringing slaves across the Atlantic. The whole coast is dotted with forts and castles and dungeons where the incarcerated slaves were kept on the way to transportation across the Atlantic. This trip was a momentous journey for us and our students because we had the opportunity to experience firsthand this rich culture, customs, and beauty of this part of Africa. We were immersed in the experience of the African diaspora by attending workshops, museum events, and witnessing these slave dungeons and participating in the last bath that was discussed. We were able to connect to this rich heritage. And I think that we were able to close some gaps between the African people there and these returning African Americans. So I think we all came back with a stronger commitment to serve our students and find ways that we can build connections and pass on information. And as was briefly mentioned, those of us who went on this trip developed a planned project to bring to PCC for a resource website or online presence for African culture, African American information and culture that we can share and will be useful to the campus community and to the wider community. So I think that there were many great results from going on this project. Thanks so much. That concludes my report.
Thank you. I'm going to begin, I think, where everyone has been beginning, and thinking all the work that has gone into our centennial celebration. I was just amazed by how many community members that were there that had such a deep connection to PCC, looking through those yearbooks and finding themselves and like taking photos with their yearbook photos. And moments like that kind of really show us and remind us, I think ground us in the reach that our college has in our region, right? Folks coming from all over just to celebrate with us and potentially to wait in line for a free cupcake, which I know they were waiting for a little bit on. But they were waiting because we were hearing from some very important people. And I also want to thank our elected leaders who joined us to celebrate and commemorate this occasion. Certainly Congresswoman Judy Chu, who has been such a champion of our institution and bringing funds back to our community college district and our college. Senator Portantino and Assemblymember Fong, who presented us a joint resolution from the legislature, which is really special, commemorating our 100th birthday. Certainly Assemblymember Holden for his leadership, everything from dual enrollment to all the other community college focused supports that he's really been providing, and certainly Supervisor Barger. And you know, all of this certainly could not have been possible without the dedication of our team here at the college. So I wanted to thank everybody again. I know every time I ran into someone wearing a blue shirt volunteering, I just know that folks were in the sun for a long time. That day, making sure that everybody got what they needed, making sure everyone was being able to participate in the celebration. So I'm very grateful for that dedication and that volunteer time, as Dr. Gomez mentioned, and it shows the love of the college. And so thank you for that. I also certainly want to recognize and celebrate again that we are at the final week of Latina Heritage Month, and thank all the organizers of all the activities, certainly the Heritage Parade that took place over the weekend in the city of Pasadena. It's always incredible to see the energy across the city of Pasadena and the kind of vibrancy of the community, and it was amazing to march alongside so many of our college members to celebrate the month. And I also want to echo the congratulations and thanks to VP Cuomo, and also the work of the SBDC with the launch of our Women's Business Center. It's truly one of those incredible resources that our college provides to the region, and something that I'm constantly reminding folks in my district and in my community that, you know, yes, students absolutely can come here for academic achievements, but there's so many other resources that PCC provides that I think is important for this board to continue supporting, like our SBDC. And finally, I just wanted to mention, and this happened a few weeks ago, so it feels like a lot longer than it has been, but since our last board meeting, I had an opportunity with Dr. Gomez to break bread with the Academic Senate Board, and was really grateful for kind of that cross-dialogue and thinking of ways that we can continue to work together, not just in this centennial year, but in years to come. So thank you all, and that concludes my report. Okay. We're now going to go to proposed future board business meeting dates. Trustees, you'll recall that we began a conversation about our scheduled meeting for January, and that that January 8th meeting date is challenging because, I mean, it's literally right after the holidays, so it'll be difficult not just to prepare the agenda and prepare for the meeting, but because folks will be on a very well-deserved break. So I'm bringing forward a recommendation to cancel our January meeting, because our February meeting is earlier in the month now that we have our board meeting dates scheduled as such. And if there are any unforeseen items that require board approval, you know, things like construction things that are timely, we could organize and call a special board meeting, as we sometimes have in the past for these things, but that's certainly not anticipated at this moment, and we want to be sure that staff is not working during their holiday to prepare for the board meeting. So if that is amenable to folks, because we already have an approved calendar as such, I would request a motion to cancel our our January meeting for now.
So
Moved by Trustee Chen Lao. Is there a second?
Second.
Do we have any discussion? Okay, we'll go to a vote. Student trustee?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That passes. Thank you. And thank you for your patience as we were figuring that out over the last little bit. Okay, do we have any proposed future agenda items? Hearing none, we'll go to moving to adjourn the meeting. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
I adjourned the meeting.